de animación.
سيناريو خروج سيميدو إرجاع سيرجيو روبرتو.
French internationals exchanging pleasantries. Ousmane Dembele, though, not available today. And two goal scorers exchange pleasantries as well. Take a look here. Rafinha may be drawing some of the blame, still backing up on Busquets' pass. Credit to Canales for stepping in and look at that ball from Aron. Fekir does the rest. Yeah.
I think the spread of this situation was on both sides with a wonderful goal and some indecision by Sergio Busquets and Rafinha. But what a ball this is from Sergio Roberto. This is an absolute diamond of a pass. When he gets this, the bend on it, the weight on the pass is truly world class and Messi-esque again. And Griezmann finally delivers the thunder at that wonderful lightning of a first half. It was a pyrotechnic passing show by Griezmann. His first touches were absolutely off of the charts. He was responsible with the ball. He was quick in the decision making and elusive. I thought it was a tremendous half of La Liga Santander football film by both teams. And Barcelona have drawn this game back within striking distance.
1-1 the score, second half about to get underway from the Camp Nou. Signing for BETIS, alongside with Ray Hudson, Jose Hernandez, Maybe Macias on our Spanish language side. Feel free to hit that sap button if you wish. Offside as Griezmann caught a bit by surprise.
Let's not forget as well, Antoine's goal is service was and the finish was what finish was. Danny Martin was very close to getting the final touch to deny Antoine. Just think if Joel Robles had been in goal, Phil, would it have been different? That's the first choice goalkeeper.
But he did get a hand on it.
Right. Wasn't enough though, was it? That's
He would need a video review.
Joel Robles, I think, might have been more depth, but that's cruel. On the young lad who's only 21-year-old, the Betis goalkeeper, look out.
Middle looking for
Nice football!
Griezmann. Shot deflected wide, Perez denied. They'll say it went wide clean off the youngster's move.
Wonderful vision from Antoine. Again, seen him already ahead of the ball coming to him. Knows exactly where it's got to be dispatched to. And Calais, real nice first half in a lot of ways. Most wonderful setup for some amazing misses by Rafinha, has to be said as well. Who again has had a good game, but his finishing's been going into the funny house of mirrors. Balanced game, isn't it? We saw yesterday with Real Madrid, Real Valladolid. What a game that was in the White House, where Real Madrid played so well in the first half, and Valladolid hung in there like loose teeth, and then the result in the end with a well-earned draw, excuse me.
Be the same here. Pena, Griezmann, Alba from the flank. Betis won last year in this fixture, and this is the first time in history they've opened the scoring. Back-to-back games against Barca. Griezmann to De Jong. Griezmann tries to win it back and whistled for the foul. Disbelief.
Well, he tries to put out his own fire, and he comes in, I thought, from the side on Fekir. Take a look, and gets all ball.
A little bit on the follow-through, but never saw that called before.
You cannot put the brakes on momentum like that, and it was an in-control tackle for my money. Three not allowing him.
Nice by Busquets, contorting his legs around Carvalho. Prior to last year, you have to go all the way back to 1998 for the last Betis win in Barcelona, a day where Barca scored first, but two Finidi George goals were good enough. No winners here at the moment. In for Roberto, but the angles were off.
Still a good run by Sergio Roberto, and quite got his feet adjusted in the second half. Calais.
There's Joaquin on the right of the screen.
Was it the great Joaquin, Bill?
The legend.
For me, what a player.
Enjoyed a resurgence under Setien. Griezmann.
Top shelf goal for Barcelona. Stupendously magnificent from the ghost man, Griezmann. And this one disappears in the city.
was just putting it right back to the boot of the danger man.
Remember that crazy celebration he used to have? And he did that puppet dance
Well,
or something? Well,
he's about to take the L.
it's a proper celebration. The punching of the air. The celebratory goal, Phil.
If he gets another one, we might see a... Now, how do you fit that in with Messi and Suarez? Nice problem to have. From an angle, deflected off Bartra.
That's a good look by Rafinha. Rafinha thinks he can get this one back to him. Calais goes for goal. It's a wonderful angle for him. But again, good play by Rafinha. No chance for young Danny Martin there. Back to goal.
Lifting it in, the Portuguese wing back, but an easy grab by Dani Martin. This match brought to you in part by Geico. Last year, Barcelona first or second throughout the season, and from week 14 on, they were top of the table. 19 points above third place Real Madrid, and double digits better than Antoine Griezmann and Atletico.
Goal that just decorated this hallowed ground by this man. Just again decorated this, framing the first half performance. For me, that is the whole part about this game. It was his involvement, his elusiveness, his sharpness, his recognition of the right pass at the right time. And when the magic man comes back, and the Argentinian comes back, Phil, La Pulga, they all going to benefit right the way through this team, the midfield and the forward line.
There were questions yesterday with Jovic and Benzema, and Zidane saying it might be time to change more to a 4-4-2. To stick Griezmann out on the flank where he started this season, maybe it's better to put him up with Luis Suarez and give a Twin Towers sort of formation.
Just get them on the pitch. All right, just get them on the pitch.
Could be a problem for Dembele then. Either that or defense just a rumor. Sydney, still time. And again, more firepower on the bench for Betis than Barca today. We're all waiting to see if the 16-year-old Fati nicely steps in.
Oh, what a tackle again.
Maron dispossessed, one right back by Betis, but Maron is hurt.
It's Antoine Griezmann that won the tackle.
Now Emerson also down as they attack that flank.
Switches on.
Griezmann,
Doesn't hurry it.
Roberto nicely. And now hurtling over the
Options on.
challenge.
Griezmann's on. Wants it.
Perez, right near post, side netting, but on the wrong side of the post.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's applaudable, and these fans at Camp Nou know it. Carlos Perez gets fed. Griezmann was brilliant winning this ball and starting this attack. Griezmann says, feed me, baby. Carlos Perez
Andres Iniesta and Isu Kobe in the preseason. His debut goal today against Betis. And Barca with its foot on the pedal. Rafinha. And that draws a round of applause.
They've been applauding this performance from the first whistle, and it has been a wonderful game. Betis played their part in it as well. Ruby's men nicely drawn up in so many ways, but they've been exposed by the quickness, sharpness, this again pyrotechnic passing show, and missing the ball that tried it. I'm sure you'll have a statistic, Phil, that without Messi and Suarez and Dembele, Barcelona are even better.
I don't think they've ever played a game like that.
It's lovely football. And
In the middle, Semedo against Sydney.
the first touch back for Griezmann was the one that was begging, and Semedo takes it into the box instead of probably just touching it back. But Griezmann's absolutely radiant, just loving his football here. And again, this halo of the goal, the glitter bomb from the ghost man, Griezmann.
A lot of Beticos may be wondering if this would have happened with Quique Setien in charge. In some ways it did. And that finale in Seville, 4-1 Barca on the day, which might have been the final straw. Although there were reports that he was going to be replaced anyway. Ruby learning a lesson the hard way. Off the restart and Barca putting the pressure on. Bakir handcuffed by Piqué. Maybe it's time to bring Joaquin on or Diego Lainez. He's struggling to maintain any possession. Sergio Roberto fouled. Just like days of old, quickly getting the ball back in play. Maybe another goal. Valverde might be tempted to stick on Ansu Fati.
It's not really the Barcelona way, is it really? You know, see them do that job. Just
Legs
for
have come out.
cameo performances for the sake of it. Look out.
Busquets.
Magic.
Alba.
Brilliant. Again, another one. And it's just a pyrotechnic footballing shower of brilliance. Busquets as well involved. Jordi Alba sends his own personal message, and a goal again that Barca's seen so many times. In practice, Busquets raids the tackle like a fucking bronco, and it looks like he's dead level. And in the blink of a bee's eye, he finds his ankle, and again kisses it artfully home with a Surat dot. The great Sergi Busquets, of course, in the city of Gaudi. I think if Gaudi was going to design any footballer in his own image of unpredictability and originality, it would be that man there, Sergi Busquets, the Gaudi of footballers. Magic.
Wilfred Captoum among those that enters. The ex-Barca boy joined by the Betis legend. Teo and Guardado are done.
See that wonderful Betis fan there, smiling broadly at the substitution when the great Joaquin comes in. But even in this sort of shellacking that they're getting, the Betis fans are got to accept that this is Barcelona football. They're brilliant best. And it's going to be difficult to pick out the man of the match, Phil. But you know how far you can look back past the French World Cup winner, Antoine Griezmann.
Rafinha stepping away, Pettis stolen away. Betis taken right back though. Earliest goal to start a season for Jordi Alba. Just getting in on all the fun. Last year didn't score until April. Busquets in good position. Slow start for Uzi, but closing strong. Was this enough to take the pressure off Valverde?
It's a start. What a debut for Antoine Griezmann. Because the doubting Thomases out there, and there were a lot when they paid that much for Antoine Griezmann. The fact that he has exploded into this game to show just how great of a footballer he is. And once Lampuga, Atomica gets back, Phil, oh, please.
I'm wondering if anyone has tweeted Barcelona perfect record without Messi, Suarez, and Dembele. If not, get on it.
You can sense something in the stadium every time as well when they are turning on, when they did, and then to get hit to the canvas the way Betis did out of nowhere with Nabil Fekir's incredible, wonderful counter-attacking goal. The thundering applause was still raining down. It was a matter of time. They were shaking that champagne footballing bottle, and it was a matter of time before it went pop. Man, it exploded. And champagne football, of course, led by champagne footballer in the Frenchie.
Something we haven't really mentioned because of the injuries. 6 players from La Masia in the lineup here today for Barca, including Rafinha, who quietly has been stellar. Perhaps except for that ball stolen away for the Betis goal. Griezmann looking for a hat-trick. Sidney sends it back to sender. Moreno down the middle. And Omlet pokes it free. Just enough. But then he thought the pass was to someone else, and chance for Canales.
Stupid ball from Castega.
Emerson from the flank. Knocked to the turf. Free kick, Betis. 22-year-old right back plucked away again from Barcelona. Picked him up from Atletico Mineiro, only to let him move on. Barcelona does have a buyback, though, in a couple of years, should Emerson blossom. Quickly restarted across the middle. Joaquin. Another chance. Rafinha. Finding Canales. Good ball, but reading it well, Semedo.
And it hasn't all been about one. One-touch passes where they've already identified the target, where they want to pass that first-time touch on, and that time it just didn't work out. But again, immaculate selection by Griezmann.
Betis was still in position for a European spot 2/3 of the way through last season before the bottom collapsed. Can't afford to get off to a slow start here.
Well, Ruby, as Ruby said, it's his 13th job, Phil, and he hasn't really exactly achieved a stellar sort of record to come to a great club like Betis, but they trusted in him, and with these new signings and the big players that went out, he's got a lot of work to do.
Nice by Piqué. Well, he did get Huesca promoted a couple of years ago.
That was what it really all hinges on. You're absolutely right.
And then Espanyol, a couple of seasons ago, was able to get them in contention. Or last season. where
again, it was all in contention. It was never
finished
anything
7th.
quite produced, but certainly Betis hierarchy believe in him.
Although something is missing in La Liga without Quique Setien,
Yeah,
who is
for
still
me.
available, by the way.
Are you listening, Mr. Beckham?
Or perhaps Mr. Bartomeu. Midway through the second half.
Nicely. The next
Here.
player he is on the ball, isn't he?
Cutting in front of Busquets, who just reaches out.
Telescopic legs of Busquets.
Mr. Gadget, but then
like
trying to
Cody.
win it back. Did something bend the wrong way here? Double knee to knee.
Again, one touch and then this absolute catapult of a goal, and again the glitter bomb of the ghost man.
They got surprised last week at San Mamés. Convincing second half here. Next week to Pamplona to take on promoted Osasuna before returning home after the international break to take on Valencia.
And someone that we haven't really been in full admiration of is the coach here today, Ernesto Valverde. Trusted, got it right, got the balance right, even in the adversity of going the goal down. It was this team that really missing their inspirational players in many, many ways. That the baton got passed today. Griezmann picked it up, but he had plenty of company. And the selection of Ernesto Valverde here today, Phil, worked like a charm. The midfield has been just, well, better rhythm than a Jamaican kettle drum band.
Perez and Rafinha doing a good job, and Griezmann looking pretty good in the middle.
Pretty good.
Next two games for Betis will be at home, sandwiched around the international break. Leganés and Getafe, neither one will be easy, but they will go a long way to seeing how secure their first division lives are. And again, the transfer window about to shut, another week to go. Does this performance make that additional acquisition more or less likely? Or more or less necessary? 20 minutes remain. Because as you pointed out,
That's a good run by Carlos Perez. He just doesn't quite get the ball wriggled into his control because he saw Rafinha was streaking away and peeling away from the defender like tissue on a toilet roll, and just couldn't get the ball slotted into Rafinha.
from an angle, Bakir.
Nice.
Good idea, but not much weight on it. Piqué able to block. By the way, as we speak about PSG, some word coming from France that Cavani and Mbappe both nicked today, which makes you wonder whether PSG can afford to let Neymar go. Sergio Busquets seems to be done for the day. Joaquin checking to make sure he's okay. 19 minutes remain. Let's take another look. Inside of the knee.
Let's slow it down.
As you pointed out, Ray, he doesn't blast it.
No.
Calm, and that's something you mentioned even in the first half. This pretty much his debut as he starts here today, but he's looking much more composed than you'd think a 21-year-old would be.
Absolutely. It's been more than responsible. It's not been a not perfect performance, but it's been more than admirable. It's been pretty exceptional for a young man like this to come into this situation, missing their big superstars and just assuming that mantle and wearing the pressure like a Cartier diamond and not a necklace of sledgehammers. It's been very impressive.
Chance now for Canales, sends it wide for Emerson. 3 in the box, looking long and well off target. And a substitution about to come in. Arturo Vidal.
Rafinha has been wonderful, but it's Sergio Busquets that's coming out. The World Cup winner, 2 Euros, 113 caps, 347 appearances for Barcelona. The Gaudi of football. Doesn't quite look right in a lot of ways, but ageless and timeless, the wonderful Sergio Busquets.
Again, the new goal kick rule. Barcelona seems custom made for that. Push in the midfield, foul against Pedraza. Let's talk a little bit, because it's been a while since La Masia has been in the spotlight. Of course, that golden generation from Xavi and Iniesta, Busquets and Messi. On that day where they actually had an entire starting lineup of homegrown players. But then you went into that generation with promise that never quite delivered, Ray. The likes of a De La Feo or an Afellay, Teo himself, Boyan, who's now playing in MLS. Carlos Perez may be a sign that La Masia starting to produce again.
Well, you get that generation of the Xavis and Iniestas, not just once in a lifetime or once in a generation, but once in an epoch. And that isn't a factory for just putting out cookie-cutter pizzas of footballers. Barcelona were fortunate. They're still able to polish diamonds, and certainly Carlos Perez is a good example. There's others, but it remains to be seen whether they ever come close to replacing that sort of La Masia magic.
Well, the young Mexican Diego Lainez coming in for Sergio Canales. You know, he's got something to prove.
Good player.
By the way, mention Ansu Fati, the young 16-year-old who plays for Victor Valdez's Juvenil A. There's another young American, Carlos de la Fuente.
Speak of the devil, Phil.
With that Junior A team that's playing in Eindhoven right now, and it looks like Fati will make his debut and is about to become the second youngest player in the history of Barcelona.
And it's a fast trajectory he's been on. Started with Juvenil B, and he was a different stratas at the pass-through in Barcelona as a cadet. And now he started to establish himself in Barca B, and that's where the reward process keeps going. He looks as if he's a happy lad coming in with that sort of smile, and we'll see what's in the other end of his body with his boots.
Trying to hold his run was Griezmann. Flag stays down, Barca comes over.
Semedo went to sleep a little bit, he'll learn, and Griezmann able to put that back heel pass. And Semedo kept on running, look out.
Looking to try and cut into this lead, it's Joaquin weaving
put
in
inside.
past De Jong.
Nice ball.
Lainez, chesting it, and can't keep it in.
Tough one for his first touch, and here comes a wonderful prodigy.
He'll never get a razor blade sponsorship, at least not at this point. Through ball for Griezmann, squares it, and roofing it.
Genius! Genius from Griezmann again! What a ball from Antoine!
Maybe his first touch.
It's astonishing that he takes all of this into account in a blink of a beam. his eye again, Griezmann. There's a wonderful finish of Vidal. But look at this ball from Griezmann. Oh, my word, that's absolute genius from the Frenchman. It's literally split millimeter perfect. The angle that he delivers it into, and it's astounding finish from the Chilean international. And passing it and using the upright as his reference point. But Phil, this is amazing goal of the highest order that would make an onion cry.
Listen to the roar, not just for Carlos Perez, but now for the youngster, the crown jewel of La Masia, 16-year-old Ansu Fati. From Guinea-Bissau, went to Sevilla first, and somehow they let him go to La Masia 2 years ago. Last year for Victor Valdez's Juvenil A, 15 goals to lead the league. And as I mentioned, his teammates on that team, including the young American Conrad de la Fuente, playing a preseason tournament in Holland right now. He is wearing the first team strip, making his debut. Vicente Martinez back in 1941 in a Clásico, the only player to wear a Barcelona strip that was younger by just 10 days.
Well, as you're watching lyrical about the promise of magic and the promise of tomorrow in young Fati, let's not just gloss over that work of art that we just witnessed for the 5th goal. Arturo Vidal was a true Surat dot at the end of Antoine Griezmann's brilliance.
Shot into the corner from distance, and Laurent Moron with something for Betis to scream about.
Well, this is a staggering hit, and again, it's a shame because it's a bad giveaway from Griezmann, I believe, but Moron hammer blows it home. Antoine tries to find De Jong, it goes away from him, and then he just absolutely flamethrowers this past Ter Stegen, and a fabulous strike that would absolutely be up there for goal of the game had it not been for so many of the others. No chance for Ter Stegen. Beautiful acrobatics, but the wonderful hit from Moron is just world class. Oh, what a game. I'm going to need an oxygen tent. 10 minutes left.
3 straight games with a goal for Laurent Moron now. 7 goals in the 4-3 thriller last year, with Betis winning. 7 goals today, but Barcelona turning things back in their favor. Into the middle for the 5th-century man, Gerard Piqué. Rafinha. Fekir. Free kick. And the ex-Betico, who opened the scoring last year for Betis, now about to make his full Barca debut.
Wonderful from Sergi. He missed his chances, all right, and you just shake your head in disbelief for such a quality footballer, but he was tremendous today in every capacity, his responsibility, his movement, his intricacy, and now sets the place for a new substitution.
And they've moved Jordi Alba up to left wing, Firpo back at left back, and there Griezmann, Perez, Sergio Roberto, and Nabil Fekir are candidates for Ford Man of the Match. Vote at beIN Sports USA and cast your vote. Soft feet on Fati into the middle.
Beautiful.
Semedo. Vidal has scored on his second
quick
touch.
silver feet from Fati there. Again, his wonderful yellow boots flashing like the blades on a combine harvester. The touches that he had there, Phil, when he's had the green and white stripes strung out like a line of laundry, and just evading them beautifully.
to the youngster and looking upfield.
Smart.
Overlap is on from
Nicely.
Semedo.
Magic.
Stops.
Brilliant.
Crosses.
Ah!
And Martin intercepts.
He's trying to find Antoine again. He had him running square to it. Lovely build-up between Nelsinho and Fati. Yeah, you'll see he's got his target and he just doesn't square his foot quite right for Antoine.
Have to go back to the October 2018 Clásico for Barcelona home fans to have seen a scoreline like this. Offside Morong. This takes a huge amount of pressure off. Mentioned Barcelona. Next up, a road trip to Osasuna. And if they need to, remember the international break follows. They could leave Messi out, Suarez out, Dembele out, and let them heal up through the break. It's a long season.
And BETIS have got a nice sequence after this game.
Leganés
Should be able
and
to
then
take
Getafe.
care of a lot of business.
4v3 if they hurry. Whipped across, but no problem for Ter Stegen. Well, it's never boring with Betis. Ruby at least continuing that tradition. Sydney scampers over. Chance on the turnover. Griezmann coming back from an offside position, though. Oh, the substitutes have been played. I mentioned Conrad de la Fuente scored 2 goals for Victor Valdez in Holland. Barca battling for 3rd place in that tournament. Dad's just waiting for his time to pounce. Young Thiago and Mateo looking on. A lot less pressure than there was at kickoff.
A great ball. Wonderful pass.
Cutting to the inside for Griezmann. Ati. Oh, inches away, and what a goal that would have been.
Ansu! Thundering applause will be music to his ears. Decisions. Shades of Patrick Kluivert in him. Beautiful strike. Oh man, look at his eyes. Look at his head. As soon as he explodes off of it, he's following it. That is special. A wonderful, relaxed, I don't want to call it mechanism because that's botanical. Beautiful.
Back for Carvalho. Bakir.
How old is he?
16
Nah.
and 298 days. Although you were just about to make your debut at that time.
17. Not in these environments.
Bakir. And again, there have been building blocks for Betis to construct a solid season. They won't be playing Barca every week. Out wide, the winger Alba. Firpo can't control.
And don't think that these types of players, like Firpo and Ansu Fati, as relaxed as they look, they have butterflies the size of seagulls inside of them when they come onto this pitch in this cathedral, and they're handling it beautifully.
Nice by Moron, in for Carvalho. And credit as well to Carlos Perez, and his debut start.
And again, credit Valverde for throwing these young lads in under circumstances that they've still got a lot to be responsible for. There's going to be a big noise in La Liga Santander. Great acquisition, great buy, shrewd. If they're selling likes of Lo Celso for huge money.
He was also the leading scorer last year for Betis with just 9. Would not put it past Fekir to double that.
And Iglesias as well, Phil.
Borja.
He's a wonderful player. Ex-Espanyol man. And
Ooh, Ter Stegen. Well, you've got a 3-goal lead. Why not? Good reach by Bartra. Out for the throw-in, though. And Barca looking to hit the accelerator on the break. 88 minutes complete. Griezmann. I guess maybe one of the questions. Will Fati score? Will Griezmann get his hat-trick?
quick
Looking
feet again.
quick. And he finds a gap.
But
Tackled away by Pedraza. Fans wanted a foul.
no, they're dreaming. I think this is a good reach-in slide tackle from Pedraza.
One back in the midfield. Headed down by Emerson. Alba inside. Sydney with the block.
Good
Nice by
reach-in.
Firpo. But he's whistled for a foul. Maybe a sympathy call from Gonzalez.
Fresh face, and he's still smiling about it. And it looks like that's gets the ball. It's a good reach in by Firpo here. Again, that's a good reach in. Wonderful tackle for me. Pedraza gets the ball fair and square.
Maybe half a touch by Fati, though. There's a joy to his game. Blocked. Swept into the midfield. Cutting back, looking for Lainez on this near side. Emerson. Squares. Good step in Semedo.
Play it again nicely.
Sergio Roberto hog-tied by Carvalho.
Again, deep into this game, and Sergio Roberto has still got the quickness, the alertness, the sharpness to start another counter-attack, and Carvalho pulls his chest hairs out.
Sergio Roberto assisting the first 2 goals to Griezmann. And again, relaxing in the front row for Suarez and Messi. Their day will come. 3 minutes added. Can Barca add to their lead? Piqué's hungry, looking to score in his 500th game. Fati, the give and go. Into the middle for Griezmann. Settles, shoots, denied by Martin.
Wonderful setup again from Ansu. To the ghost man again. It's a lovely touch and a recalibration of all of the angles from Ansu. And he picks out the right card out of his hand, and he had a few aces in him, Phil. He doesn't rush it either. He doesn't over-elaborate on his football. He's in here if they can find him on the switch.
Firpo wants it back. Vidal plays possession. Firpo squares. Griezmann volleys off of Joaquin. Good step up, Vidal. Through the legs of Kaptoum. Fekir. Semedo trying to win it, but now a chance for Fekir on the break tackle. Swept away, Longley. Soccer Extra coming up. Plenty of highlights. Might not be time for the rest of the games after this one. Nodded back, but from an offside position. Jordi Alba doesn't believe it.